Alright, since I've done an unboxing of all the other ones, or unbagging or whatever you want to call it, of all the other parts, might as well do this one too. This one just came in today. This is our complete control board. Right here, it's from Hobby Unlimited. This is the NAZ32 REV6. So, alright, comes in its own little baggie here. Let's see, the NAZ32. That's where your motors plug into your ESCs for each motor. That's where you hook it up to the computer, and we'll be hooking it up to the computer here in a second to make sure that it works. And you want to do that first before you do anything. Just make sure that it works. You don't want to get it all hooked up and go to start it up only to find out that your transmitter doesn't work. Actually, we're not even going to open this. We're not going to use it. This is a little casing that it goes into. We'll open this one though. This has all your wires. So the only thing that we're going to do today on this video, we are going to, it depends on if the 20 amp ESCs come in before the motors or not. We're going to put these pins in so we don't have to unsolder it. We can just unhook the pins. And you know, it adds a little, these aren't heavy at all. It adds a little bit more weight, but not that much. In fact, we'll probably put these ones on. That way we can just plug the pins in like that. Then you get all this extra wiring, which is cool, because we're not going to be using all of these, but we'll be using some of these as parts. We'll be kind of splitting them and using them for different things. So it comes with a lot of wiring. So anyways, that's just the unbagging, if you will, and we will hook it up to the computer now and show you guys how to just kind of balance it, make sure that it works, and then we'll solder the pins on. I'll plug the ESCs in, make sure that they plug in and stuff, and then that's going to be it, because the motors haven't came in. If the motors were in, all we would have to do is plug the LiPo in now and balance everything out, but since that's not in, that's all we can do today. So now all we're waiting on is the motors to come in, and I've got a Free Sky transmitter coming in, so we should be able to fly this pretty soon. Just gotta hook the LiPo up to it and stuff. So, anyways. Now I don't know if you guys can see all that well, but we're just gonna take one of these, and we've just got to check to make sure that our NAZ or NAZ is working. Like, you don't want to get it all hooked up and then your NAZ not work, and then you have to unsolder everything. And there's people who have said that the distributors don't like it when you send things back that have solder on it and stuff. So you might want to just make sure that before you do anything at all, you can actually plug this into the computer and make sure that it works. So we're going to open Clean Flight here. That's what kind of everybody's been telling me to use. So I went ahead and got it. You can go to Google and download Clean Flight if you want to. It's actually an app. It's in the App Store. So if you don't know how to do it, then just leave a comment, and I'll make a video showing you guys how to get Clean Flight. But it's fairly simple. So you know, it's just give it a shot, and if you can't get it, go ahead and ask. But there's 100,000 videos online of it. So anyways, we're just going to take this into the phone cord, plug it into there, and then take the other part and put it in the USB. And I think that this cord actually has a short in it. Alright, there we go. We've got lights. So this NAZ32 works. Right there. We've got the blue light here, the red light there. So So our board is working. You guys can see that. That's the front there. Tip it front, back, side to side. You can see over here there's modules. I think there's some, not here. I don't know what's up with that, but at least we know that the board itself is working. And then I'll kind of go back through and figure some of this out. I had some trouble. I had a clean flight on my other one, and I hadn't built a quadcopter yet, so I hadn't had to log into it. I followed all the steps to downloading everything, and for some reason that wasn't working. So I got on this computer, my work computer, and re-put everything on here, and I finally got it to work. And so if you are having trouble, feel free to ask, and I'll try to talk you through what you need to get through. Not making any guarantees though. So anyways, let's go ahead and solder those pieces on, and then that'll be it. So I'm just going to disconnect here. A lot of my cords, you got to make sure you have a data cord, not a power cord. Some Androids come with just power cords, so you can't just use an Android phone cord. You got to use a power or you got to use a data cord that you can take data back and forth with. But we're going to go ahead and take this back and solder those pieces on, kind of pop the top off and see how it fits. Actually, we may do that here. One of the things that you want to remember is accessibility. And what I mean by accessibility, oh, I hate that. Okay. Is your quad's front is going to be right here where your camera is, and the back is going to be right here where this big thing is, and you may need to put something there, I don't know. And you've got your computer input for beta flight or clean flight here, and you've got these connector pieces here, and then your ESC hookups here. So you want this right here on the outside. Even though the arrow points up, it sets it in like this, and it puts which that would actually be pretty good because the camera's going to be right here, and we could hook all these up, you know, like so, and we could get to clean flight through the back. But some of them don't have that much space, and it's just a lot easier to make sure that your computer input is out the side. Even though that this arrow is pointing towards the front, you can go into clean flight and hit 95 degrees or something like that and keep turning it around, or 90 degrees or something, keep turning it and turning it and turning it until you get this to be the front and this to be the back, and you know, so you can turn the direction. So there's two main things that you can do now that you used to not be able to do. It used to be when you put your motors on, you would have to cross the wires in order to get your motors to turn different directions. Some would be straight, and then the other ones would be crossed. And now you can change that in clean flight and beta flight, and you can just do all that through programming. You can just switch the direction of those. And now you can switch the direction of your clean flight, or you have been able to for a while now. So since we're not going to be, and that leaves me plenty of room. I can already see that. Like, even if I put it, where'd the top go? Even if I put it like all the way up here, you know, which those spacers aren't going to be that big. I mean, this is a lot of room, and everything kind of just sticks out the side. I don't know if I like that. No, I don't know if I do. I may like it how the direction it is now, where it's in the back. But then if it's in the back, my my FPV receiver and my, well, actually I'm getting the transmitter. It's already ordered with the transmitter receiver, and the transmitter receiver is like going to take up this whole back space, so I can't put that out the back. In fact, the only clean way that I can do it is to have them going out the side. So it would have to be we'd have to cut those down tremendously. But we can stick them out the side. It's going to look rough. I don't know if I'm going to like that. It's just a huge, I mean, it sticks way out the side. You got to see, like, stick one on just in case I can't get it off. When you stick these on, your white goes towards the top because that's your power. I mean, just the connector and everything. And when the wire comes back in, which I'm going to put it underneath, it's going to have 4 wires just kind of sticking out the side like that. And this on top. And that just kind of opens me up to hitting one with one of the props or something. And I don't want to put it towards the back, which would be ideal, because I could probably squeeze the FPV camera, transmitter, and everything in the back. And I don't know how I want to put this now. Kind of screwed up my plans. I could not use this. And what I could use is this here. I want to use the pins because I want to get this soldered on today. That way when the motors do come in, I don't have to worry too much. So I can just switch out the ESCs and I don't have to unsolder the ESCs. I'm going to break the solder from the ESCs that are on here, take these wires that are already connected to the board, and reconnect them to the ESCs. So if I can make sure that that's going to be down low enough, because that's going to be, and we're giving it a little, it's going to be like that. It's going to be fairly close. You're right there. I don't think going up with it's what I want to do. Could stick this to the roof. Actually, it would be to the side like that, and then those would go down the side, be like that, and these would go on. I think that's the way I'm going to do it. It's going to rest right on that. It is. Actually, I know how I can make room. I'm not going to do that at all. I'm going to, well, I can't now because I ran these cords underneath. I was thinking I could just put this on the ground. I don't know, guys. I'll figure something out. I don't think I'm going to do it today because I don't want to solder it. I don't want to make anything permanent before I have to. See? I'm learning. But I don't want to make anything permanent today. I'm going to wait for the new ESCs to come in, and the motors, and the spacers. I really want to set the spacers in first. And who knows, the new ESCs may have thicker wiring than this, and that may completely screw me up. I didn't even think about this. I stuck those completely out the side. You have to make sure that we aren't going to hit. And that's going to come close. Well, I think that'll go over the top because I think they'll be about right there. I think that'll be good. Anyways, that's it for today. I'm not going to mess with it. I'm not going to screw anything up. I'm going to give it some time. I don't want to put some solder on it. And at least you guys learned something today. I'll get the firmware thing figured out. I'm going to keep flashing it. And once we get this thing all put together, I'll get on and flash the firmware again just to show you guys during the end process. I think that's the way I'm going to do it. And I may just wait for the new ESCs and just solder them straight to the board. I think I'm just going to have more room that way. So, no soldering today. We'll see you guys later. Have a good one.